I mean, now you're already a confident person before Suja, and now after Suja, you're even more confident that you can build it, which you have. But it's almost like, for lack of a better words, you don't really need partners and investors, kind of.
I think when I was young, I did. Like it was a whole education on how to build a business, the right and wrong things to do, the things I would have done differently, I learned, which was a really great thing to do at a young age when, the stakes are low. I didn't have anyone depending on me. I could have made every mistake in the world and it wouldn't have really mattered. And I think that also, like, I respect how hard it is to build a business. So going into a business, like I said earlier, I think a lot of people from the outside think it's easy. And so knowing I wanted to start a second one, I was like, all right, like, step up. It's time. Like, this is going to be a rough couple next years, like getting this off the ground. Like, it's game's over. It's time to. And I think that was I wouldn't have known what goes into that if I hadn't been through it once before. So I think it was a really great thing. And I appreciate that I had partners. I appreciate them. I respect them. I don't necessarily agree with them. Some of them I would never care to talk to again, but I also am so grateful for the whole experience. And I think that's like the beauty of growing up and learning and going through something like that.
That one obviously really worked out, but we just did this episode on like 5 things we wish we knew earlier in our career when we were younger, before kids, before marriage, before like, we had to worry about other people than ourselves, right? Because it gets crazier, as you know, and gets busier and you have less time in a way. But I was like, even if you went through that whole experience and there was nothing to show for it, just the experience alone, like I was telling people, like, you could go from 20 to 30 and just completely crash and burn.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Like, you'd still reinvent yourself at 30, like nothing happened. And like, I think a lot of young people put so much pressure on themselves. Like, they got to figure it out right in that window of time. But like, honestly, you could just like fuck off for 10 years trying to figure stuff out and still be fine.
You can like start over at 50, you know, it's never too late.
Yeah.
I think also like, expect to fail. Like, don't think that everything's just going to be a straight shot to success. People are so uncomfortable failing. And it's like, that's one thing I really connected with you when we first met and became friends, is you were like blogging, putting yourself out there, and you didn't give a shit. Like, you did not care what people thought of you. No, but you like really, you would post like about any topics you wanted. But I really admired that because it's not that easy to do. And when you do it, you realize how powerful it is to just like put yourself out there, because things happen. That's the biggest thing, is getting over the hurdle of like being vulnerable, putting yourself out there, trying. Like, it doesn't matter if you fail. You can start over. You can get back on the horse. Like, you can reinvent yourself. It's not over just because you mess up one time. Like, things happen. Businesses blow up all the time. More businesses fail than make it by tenfold. And I think the biggest thing is like stepping up and doing it. Like, do something, get out there. Like, if you have an idea, if you have a passion, if you have like a vision for something, you're never going to get there if you don't just start. And you might fall on your ass, but you also might not. And you'll never know if you don't do it.